Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. Chad with Straightforward Angling. I wanted to get with you guys and share our recent experience fishing the North Dakota Governor's Cup Walleye tournament about a week and a half ago. Uh, it's held every July on Lake Sakakawea out of Garrison, North Dakota, launching from Fort Stevenson State Park. This was the 51st annual, so it's a pretty popular ongoing tournament. There were 255 two-person team boats involved this year. You have everybody from your local fishermen, weekend warrior types, all the way up to NWT pros in the tournament. So a great mix of people, great different levels of experience and so forth. But again, it's fishing. Anybody can do well as long as they're onto the fish and have some sense of what they're doing. This was our second year. My nephew and I we fished it the year before. To give you context, I think that year was 260 teams, and we finished right pretty much dead in the middle of the pack at 138th place. So for our rookie season, we were pleased, but not satisfied. And this year, being our second year, we had two goals. My nephew's particular goal was to not to beat his dad and his brother, and the other goal we had was to place high enough where we can cash a check. So that would require significant improvement over the prior year. The tournament's 2 days. It's a Friday, Saturday. You're allowed to pre-fish as time allows. In our case, we didn't have a whole lot of time, work schedules and so forth, and travel distance. Although we're all in North Dakota, Lake Sakakawea for me is well over a couple hours away. So we just kind of used it as a Thursday pre-fish the day before. Knowing the lake well enough that wasn't too big of a concern. We knew where we wanted to go, and where we felt fish would be, and we knew the weather was going to be stabilized. It was going to be hot, pretty calm, light breezes that were going to shift a little bit different directions throughout the 3-day period. So to get started, we hit the water about 9 a.m. on Thursday. Kind of targeted a couple areas, unique areas. We were in some back bay, kind of working weed areas where we felt fish might be looking for shade and so forth. And the second area, primary area that we ended up fishing was kind of the sunken islands on the main channel. Fishing in that 25 to 30 feet of water in the main channel, and when we got back in the back bays, we were 15 feet or less where we were finding some fish. But we were looking at two primary methods. We had everything under the sun if we needed it, but we were focused on utilizing forward-facing sonar, using a jig and a crawler approach, and then we also, while we were doing that, kind of just scooting around searching for fish, we were soaking creek chubs off the side of the boat. So when we got started on Thursday, really focused initially on these islands and found fish right away. We were very pleased with what we were finding. We weren't finding big size, but we were the upper teens, lower 20-inch fish, and moved around considerably. Pick up a fish here or there. We left that area, putting a waypoint in for the next day when things counted. Worked a number of areas up and down, and then hit the shallows towards the afternoon, and we're very pleased with that outcome as well. This is, again, nothing of significant size, but enough fish that we felt that we would weigh our 5. And to give you context, you're allowed 8 fish in the box. There's no culling, but you weigh your top 5 of the 8. So you get some opportunities to upgrade, and that's good. So everybody can strategize differently. The key is you got to weigh 5 fish, right? And you hope those 5 fish are your bigger fish, and you do leave a little room if you make the decision to keep 5 20-inchers, and you put that 28, 29-incher in the boat. Well, guess what? You get to weigh it and just kick one of the others. So long and short, Thursday, we were very pleased. We were finding fish pretty much everywhere we went. We were finding them pretty much across the entire lake, from shallow weed areas to sunken islands, working structure along that. We came up with a game plan for Friday morning. We were the first boat flight out. That's in 4 flights, and they're half-hour increments starting at 7. So 7, 8, 8:30, 7, 7:30, 8, and 8:30, and then that flip-flops the next day. So we went from first to last on the second day out of the launch. For my first time, but my nephew, the family, they run bass boats, so fortunately it wasn't windy, because those tend to be a little more difficult to scoot around the lake if it's choppy, as well as keeping it in position and standing up straight. But again, light breeze, if that. So we were quick. We got out. We had one of the fastest boats on the water, resulting in the ability the first day to be the first guys on the spot. And we're thankful for that, because there were many people on that spot. And as we got fishing, we located them, we found them, but we weren't catching. We were really utilizing that jig and a whole crawler, and what we were finding out is we were getting short bit quite a bit. I think one of the first fish we caught was a big fish, easily a 10-pounder. The issue was it was not a walleye, it was a catfish. So I got our blood going until we saw it, and got it off, but we kept plowing through, and as we kept learning more, we downsized the crawler to a half crawler. We also narrowed it down that the tail end was all producing the head end of that half crawler. So we were learning as we go. Probably 2 hours into it, we had one fish in the boat, probably a 19, 20-incher. After losing those bites, and a little frustration, and then we thought, let's hop around a little bit at that point, kind of taking the strategy of our pre-fish, move more. And we did that. We moved, found another island, and sure enough, I think we pulled in almost on the first cast. This time with a jigging wrap, was about a 23-incher. So with that, we were like, okay, we need to get that limit, and we felt, let's make the run out east to the shallow bays, where we felt we could pick up our fish. Headed out there, very, very few boats in the area, but it ended up being a 3-hour waste of time. So we have 8 hours of fish time. We're an hour and a half, 2 hours into it, and now we just spent 3 hours kind of tooling around and weren't successful. Decision was made, let's hustle back to where we kicked off the day, and again, jig and crawler and creek chubs. And we found as the afternoon started to approach and into the afternoon, we were getting a lot of bites off the creek chubs. So we went from 2 fish at that point, and quickly closed the gap, and ended up that first day with 5. We just could not upgrade. We had one real small one, a 15-inch, but we had our 5 to weigh, so we felt pretty good about it. Got back in. Scale said we were just a hair over 12 pounds. So disappointed, but yet encouraged. And 12 pounds that first day out of 255 teams put us in 78th place. Ahead of my brother and other nephews. So my nephew's beating his dad and brother that goal was surely at that point obtainable. And but we're long ways from cashing a check. So Thursday evening we kind of kicked around what should we do, and felt we did make a mistake by leaving and really losing 3 hour fish window. Not that we weren't fishing in that 3 hours, but it wasn't productive fishing. So what we came up with is we needed to focus a little more on creek chubs, and we needed to stick with the islands and stay in a spot and fish it as hard as we could. With that, we headed out at 8:30 on day 2 on Saturday. Again, it was 90-degree weather, light breeze, if that, and we knew it was going to be hot, and we made the trek out, got to our spot, and interestingly enough, all the boats that had gone west on the first day weren't to really be found. Whether they went east or they went into some of the bays, we didn't know. And so we had a big feat. And just to give you perspective, we had 12 pounds in 78th place after day 1. I think the first place team was around that 25. And so the top 10 teams ranged from the upper teens to 25 pounds. So, a couple big fish and you're there. So we get out, very little pressure where we're at, even though we had the 4th flight out, and had a lot of confidence in those creek chubs, and moving around, working the forward facing sonar off the front. We again, half crawler. Again, what did we learn from day 1? And that was a half crawler tail end, and started picking up fish. Again, thought we had a really nice one, and it ended up being a catfish. Ended up catching a carp on a jig and a minnow, and if that carp would have been a walleye, that would have been the one, but unfortunately it wasn't. But we fished it. Interestingly enough, we had one bite on the creek chub, and everything else came from the jig and crawler. And we were fortunate, we did get a bigger one. It was long, I think it was 28 inch fish, but it weighed a little over 6 pounds when we did get it up to the scale. So it helped. It was our big one. But as we fished the area, we ended up with 6 fish. We had about 2 hours to go. With the 6 fish, we had the one that we kicked was a 16 inch, but we had one more 16 inch that was going to be part of our weigh basket. And we worked, and the bite stopped. It just went dead calm, and the bite had stopped. And at that point, we felt we probably had, upper teens, maybe pushing 18 pounds is kind of how we concluded. And we felt, well, with that, that should move us up considerably, and we're probably gonna. We know we already have beating the family, but now will we have the check cashing weight to get there? And so my nephew says, "Hey, let's go bass fishing." And at that point, I'm ready to catch fish, because I was contributing a lot of net work, but not a lot of hook sets for working off the back of the boat. But we went into a bay, beautiful area, and casting paddle tails on the jig at this point, just off the side of the boat. Right away, my nephew hooks up into a fish, and sure enough, it was a 21 inch walleye. So we're like, okay, all right, we got our upgrade. We are now pretty confident we're going to move up significantly. At that point, we were catching smallmouth bass left and right, along with a walleye here or there. So it was kind of a pattern that we probably would have caught more walleye had we started that earlier. Now, would we have caught a 27 incher? Likely not, but we were very happy. Moved around a little bit more bass fishing, and decided, hey, let's go in and weigh. Let's beat the rush. I needed to drive back. I had family in town. The state fair was on. My nephew had concert tickets to get to, so we decided to weigh early. Went in and weighed over 20 pounds. Not quite 21 pounds, but it took our total up to roughly 32.5 pounds, and we moved from 78th place and ended up in the tournament at 22nd place. So we were very happy with the outcome, and accomplishing goals, learning from our mistakes, making kind of shifts in our game plan based off of those learnings. I was proud of my nephew, and we did a good accomplishment. We're looking forward to next year. Obviously, every time you do it, you want to get a little bit better, and we're more experience equals better opportunities. So we're pretty stoked about it, and pleased with where we're at. Disappointed that I had filmed a whole bunch of video, and with it being lost during the upload, here I am just giving you a verbal update, debrief on our experience, but it was great. As straightforward, moves forward, I'm hoping to fish more and more tournaments. You got Devil's Lake map behind me here, and hope to get out on a number of those next year, and possibly more on Lake Sakakawea and stuff, just to have fun, just to experience more opportunities, camaraderie with other fisher people, and setting the hook where we can. With that, hey, if you enjoy these videos, like, subscribe, comment, any of it, it's all just for fun. But I'm always looking for input, how to do things better, how to fish better, new techniques, new methods, places to fish, you name it. And with all that, I do appreciate you guys watching. And until next time, keep fishing, and we will definitely do that on our end. Take care.